Sticking in the SEC East, let's kick it all down to Gainesville, where the Florida Gators opened camp for the first time under new head coach Billy Napier. So much hype, so much anticipation, so much stretching the first couple of days. You're not going to get much when they just opened camp. They're not even wearing pads down there in Gainesville. But, of course, the big question everybody's got down there in Gainesville, Anthony Richardson, is he good to go? Coming off his injuries last season, and now we've got Emory Jones unexpectedly back with the team. And according to Emory, Billy Napier is the one that talked him into staying. So, I think that says a lot about Billy Napier and what he sees potentially in Emory Jones. He doesn't want to hand this thing over to Anthony Richardson, and clearly not, because they brought in the Ohio State transfer, Jack Miller. So this is, a convoluted quarterback competition for now anyway. We won't know anything probably until fall camp of who actually wins this job. But this is going to be one of the bigger quarterback battles to watch this offseason, not only in the SEC, but in the country, because of the ceiling of Anthony Richardson. If he doesn't grasp Billy Napier's system, if he doesn't show that he can stay healthy, that I think that significantly limits the ceiling of this Florida Gator team. But there's been no indication that that's going to happen. We'll get to Billy Napier's comments in just a moment of just how impressive Anthony Richardson looked in his eyes in the first day of camp. But I'm going to flip it the other way. What happens if Anthony Richardson emerges, he stays healthy, and he flashes that immense talent we saw early last season before suffering that injury? And maybe we need to raise this profile of the Florida Gators and Billy Napier and company. I know the fans down there are so excited, but the rest of the SEC kind of a wait-and-see type feel. That may be changing here in a hurry if Anthony Richardson comes ready to play and fits exactly what Billy Napier's asking him to do on his side of the ball. So Billy Napier here met with the media for a little over 10 minutes on Tuesday, I think this was, and basically got about 5-6 questions on the quarterback. So let's kick it over to Billy Napier talking Emory Jones, Anthony Richardson, and how he goes about evaluating quarterbacks in a practice or in a camp type situation like we got ourselves into here in Gainesville.
And those are two-way conversations, but what were Emory's goals for sort of spring ball?
I don't necessarily know that we got specific relative to, what are his exact goals. I think for the most part, he's trying to learn a new system. We oftentimes will tell the quarterbacks that they're kind of the standard bearer of the organization, right? So everything that they do should reflect the goals of the entire organization, right? If a player's observing our quarterback room and an individual quarterback on our team, they would say that that's how it should be done, right? So a certain level of self-discipline in terms of how you live your life, right? Your work ethic, your discipline, your focus. I think he's learning a new system, and there's a lot to be learned out there, not only for him, but for the entire quarterback group.
To the issue of number 15, he was out there, looked good, what we saw. Can you address those two?
Yeah, no, I think I think the big thing for our team, if you evaluate our roster relative to just experience in general, right? If you look at the participation charts from the past, who's played a lot in games, we've got probably a first group that has some significant experience, but after that, there's a lot of unknowns, right? There's a lot of competition. So for me, that's what I see, right? I see a handful of players that have played. They know how to compete. They understand what's required to be ready to play in a big game. And then we got a lot of players that are really green, that we've got to do a good job of developing kind of that second and third group. And no, I agree with you. I thought 15 had a good day. I was impressed with what I saw. His attitude has been good. I think he's impressed me with how he retains information, his attention to detail. And, today, to be honest with you, was the first time I've seen him throw the ball live, right? So I didn't get a chance to see him throw it in bowl practice because he was injured, and it certainly comes out of his hand really well. So, there's a reason why people think that he has an opportunity to be a good player, right? And it's our job to help him become the best player he can be. That's what we're going to do.
He's not limited, right?
He is not. He has been cleared, but we are kind of limited in the type of concepts that he's running in terms of putting him in position to where he has to move around too much, if that makes sense. A little bit of a quick whistle. Our quarterbacks are always non-contact. But for the most part today, he participated just how he would participate if he didn't have the surgery and wasn't returning from the injury.